What's a place easy to enter, but hard to exit? Warm shower on a winter morning. The bed before that shower. The bed any season. My friend got stuck at a strip club because he was drunk. The place was too dark and he couldn't find the exit. I guess a guy could do worse. But once you're out of singles, they'll come help you find the door and even push you out through it. Been there, done that. Debt. That's because debt is a good thing. I've seen the adverts. Your finger in a plastic lid straw hole. Kinda like the glass razor box trap in Saw 2. A bad sleeping pattern. There should be a pattern. Does random count as a pattern? You guys can actually go to sleep? What is sleep? Sleep. Never heard of it. It's a myth, dude. Prison. Can't believe how far I had to scroll. This is the whole point of a prison. This reminded me that sharks' teeth are pointed inward so that if a fish tries to wriggle free it will only get more stuck. Stay out of sharks' mouths, kids. Edit. This was nice to wake up to. Greater than stay out of sharks' mouths. Thank God you told me that. Scientology. Edit. I'm not Karen. Also, if you're looking for a deep dive into this cult, get it. Mizinu. Leah Remini's book, Troublemaker, is an excellent read. Any cult, really. Oh well. Why did the blind man fall into the well? Because he couldn't see that well. Why did the ram go over the cliff? Because he didn't see the U-turn. Why do cows have hooves instead of feet? Because they lactose. This is what I have to wake up to. Morning. I'm just going to sleep. Hotel California. The ceilings have tacky mirrors on them. Monsieur, the on-site bar doesn't serve wine. You can hear voices in the corridors. So definitely not enough soundproofing. Also, there's an unkillable beast roaming the premises. 2/5 stars. IKEA. Time to look at every showroom and fantasize it's my actual home. Addiction to something. Whether it be cigarettes, food, heroin, or what have you. You'll never admit your addiction until it's already way past a sensible point. It's not a physical place, but more of a mental thing. But still, heroin. Remember when Frodo was about to drop the One Ring in Mount Doom and Sam was like, just drop it. And Frodo was like, haha, fuck you Sam, it's mine. That's heroin. Reddit. It's been 6 years since I last saw sunlight. Days since my last meal. I've lost hope. After being trapped in this mindscape of a hellhole, browsing through each subreddit after subreddit, I only hope for death. I'm sorry, my sweet Monica. I'm sorry for not being a good father to Jack and a good partner to you. Says with 9-day Reddit account. Gym memberships. I'm getting strong Chandler vibes from this comment. The military. If you go on without a plan for getting out, they'll make getting out seem like an insurmountable obstacle, and the only other option is to give up another 4 to 6 years of your life dealing with bureaucracy. Negativity. It's so easy to get down on yourself and get into a negative mindset. A toxic relationship. Just got out of one a month ago and I can tell you now for some reason I would still go back. It's horrible to think about, but I still miss her. Broke up and got back together with my ex about 4 times before I finally came to my senses and ended things for good. Things are raw right now for you. The way she felt, smelled, the good times, the sex, the burning euphoric knot she put in your chest are all still so close. So easy to remember. Give it some distance. Don't meet up for coffee for closure. Don't text her. I'd even try to stay away from mutual friends if there are any. Don't look at pictures of you two together. Get as far away, mentally and physically, as you can. When you're ready, think about all the shit that came along with your relationship. How awful things were. The terrible things that were said and done. Take a bath in that shit. Ruminate in it for a good bit and remind yourself why things ended. And really feel it. That's how I got through it all. Good luck, man. New Jersey. The only place in the universe that's free to enter, but you have to pay to leave. Samantha. Easy. Sport. I got myself out of Beirut once. I think I can get out of New Jersey. Mitch. Yeah? Well, don't be so sure. Others have tried and failed. The entire population. In fact, fave quote from The Long Kiss Goodnight. I have 1,200 karma and this is 1K of it. Clearly, this movie has a lot more fans than any of us realize. Underrated movie. It is great, kinda like Kill Bill before there was a Kill Bill. McDonald's Play Center. There is no exit. Edit. Remove the edit because people think thanking people for helping me reach a karma milestone is begging for upvotes. Indeed, it is one of the more tangible examples of an event horizon that is accessible here on Earth. Once a child passes through the barrier, it is utterly impossible to remove him from the play center. Camps of scientists often set up shop in McDonald's stores to observe this phenomenon, and many interesting discoveries have been made. For instance, there is the age-old question: if matter brought into the playpen is irretrievable, does that not violate the universal conservation of information law? Quote, it turns out that it does not, due to what has been dubbed the holographic Mc principle. In a sense, all information that enters the playpen is projected flatwards onto the surface of the pen, and may even be projected on the very barrier edge of the universe, if such a thing even exists. Furthermore, Hawking won a McNobel Prize with his theory that playpens gradually lose mass through a process known as play-type radiation, where virtual particles formed at the threshold of McDonald's playpens are separated, sending the unpaired particle outside the horizon out into space, a form of energy leak that all singularities exhibit. Legend has it that the kids lost in the playpens become the workers at that McDonald's. An escape room. This is actually a really appropriate answer. Just did my first one recently. Can't wait to try more. No. It is easy to leave an escape room, monsieur. The staff monitors the participants via camera. Asterisk just select the youngest or weakest person in your group and start to assault, punch, beat him or her. Asterisk staff will rush in to stop the attack, demand that you leave. Asterisk as soon as they open the door, rush out of the room, monsieur. Escape accomplished. V monsieur, at least for some people. What's so hard about running? PSAXUW, grep them, grep v grep, ok, print $2, zargs kill -9. Some people. The mental hospital. When I was 15, my therapist asked me if I would want some help at a hospital. I just said yes because I was desperate and listened to any adult's advice. A week later I was sent to the hospital. A week passed by and I was slowly getting worse. I didn't care about my hygiene anymore. Another week passed by. Nothing helped. I felt like this just didn't work for me, so I asked if I could leave. They, the workers, said no. I didn't understand because I thought if you voluntarily entered the hospital and wasn't in any danger to yourself or anyone else, you could leave whenever you wanted to. But no. So another week passed by. I was desperate at this point. I started to feel suicidal and was begging them to let me out. They just treated me like air. Like I was nothing. Occasionally they came in to get out their anger on me, calling me awful things, and telling me what kind of awful person I was. I started to plan out my suicide and was ready to die at that point because I'd rather die than be locked up in a cell like I was a criminal. After 2 months I got a bad ear infection and just slept on a mattress all alone in my room. My parents came to visit me and felt bad for me, so they took me with them home, then returned me to the hospital when I got healthy again. But finally my therapist came to visit me and saw how horrible and beat up I looked and told the workers that I could leave. If my therapist didn't come, I would probably have to be there for a year, until I turned 16, because when you're 16 you can leave whenever you want. Whoa, that was awful to read. I can't imagine how it must have been to live through. I hope you are doing better and never have to worry about going back. Fucking mirror maze. Been here for 3 years now. Blighttown. I don't ever not take the master key. I'm in and out in 15 minutes. Stay hollow. Depression. It's like entering a different world you can't leave. Edit. Sorry if that's a bit dark lol. Edit. Thank you for the gold whomever you may be. It's the first time I've ever gotten gold and don't fully understand what it means, but I have a little shield next to my name, so that's cool. Also, for anyone who may be struggling with depression, anxiety or anything else, please feel free to PM me if you need to talk to someone and feel alone. The EU apparently. Edit. Let me take this opportunity to give a shout out to my SoundCloud. Turkey. Am I a joke to you? I am still confused why they even wanted in. I just assumed it totally dead once the suspiciously weak coup attempt was used. The crush political rivals. The grave. Minecraft cave network. Torches on the left going in. Right coming out. Right equals return. Carrot. Edit. Yes, okay. Left equals leaving. Stop messaging me about it. A cult. A conversation with my grandmother. Definitely a casino. Alcoholism, monsieur. Cheers, mate. Any substance addiction, really. Debt. It starts with a I'll spend some of next month's pay this month, but then the next month you do the same, plus a little more. When it's just numbers on a page, it doesn't feel like you've spent anything. You pay the minimum and spend more than you pay. Add on the interest and it gets ahead of you. Before you know it, you can owe half your annual income and you're not even sure what the hell you got in return for it. Have fun changing your lifestyle to ramen and saying no to social events for the next 5 years. Hell. Abandon all hope. Quicksand. The bathroom when you have kids. Poverty. The friend zone. Bold of you to assume I can even get into the friend zone. Mother. I knew it was here somewhere. Thank you for your service. Pretty surprised I had to scroll so far down. TBH. The United States penal system, monsieur. The Thunderdome. A psychiatric hospital. Yeah, I admitted myself and found it to be a living hell. Actually made my mental state worse because it was nothing but boredom and suffering in a cell all day. I had to practically beg to leave before they'd change their mind and say, no, you need to stay. It happened to a lot of folks there and it scared the living shit out of me. Never again. Auschwitz around 39. Eating disorders. The state of depression. A trap. Marriage. A K-hole. The weird side of YouTube. I don't know. Once I get deep enough into the weird side, the recommendations turn into trending tab shit. It's actually harder to get that deep than it is to get out. Once I stray far enough from what I usually watch, the algorithm starts trying to steer me back to it. Addiction. Easy to enter Canada without a passport or enhanced license. Hard to come back to the US. I crossed over the bridge in Lewiston, NY accidentally. Missed the turn for I-190 to Buffalo. With teen daughter and young son in the car. Stop at the first customs booth on the way into Canada. Me. I don't really want to go to Canada. I made a mistake. Customs. No problem. Pull up a little bit and make a U-turn. Head back home. Me. Okay. Thanks. U.S. Customs. Citizenship. Me. U.S. C. Why were you in Canada? M. Explains what happened and what I was told by the other guy. C. I need your ID in there. Pointing to kids. Birth certificates. Me. Hands my license. I don't have their birth certificates. I had no intention of going to Canada. C. How do I know you're a U.S. citizen? Me. I gave you my NYS license. Well, sir, I don't know. He plays on his computer. Yeah, I know. He was checking some list or another or running my plate or some such thing. And he finally tells me he'll let me go this time, but from now on I should have an enhanced license. And at least a birth certificate for my kids. Sheesh. Second this. I went to Canada with my family when I had just turned 16. Earlier that year I had gotten an enhanced ID because we knew we were going to Canada and weren't sure if it'd have a license yet. Then a month later I got my license and we went to Canada. Well, my ID was still valid as was my license, so I had two legal forms of it. Canada didn't care. Let us write in. Tried to go home and we got detained because I had too many forms of id lol. We're Australian. Did the touristy thing, which at one stage included a tour up to Niagara Falls from NYC. Going out to Canada. No problem monsieur coming back in. 20 questions and the worst attitude I ever encountered. We were there like 2 hours. Unfortunately, US Customs has always been very annoying like that. Plus, I have no doubts that some of them believe silly stereotypes. If my brother being asked more questions than anyone else in my family was because of them having the longest goatee and facial hair of everyone in my family. Ugh. Luckily the last time I flew back into the US, it wasn't too bad for myself and rest of the family. Going through the US Customs pre-clearance screening facility over in Dublin. Before we boarded our flight home. You sir, remove your goatee, we have a too, maximum monsieur. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.